Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Sean's back after a long lull.
I've been busy.
Yep.
Speaking of long lull, though, I've noticed you've dropped some weight.
Yep.
You should call this the before and after Chad's Beer Reviews because I look like the before and you definitely look like the after.
Yeah, almost 30 pounds. Thank you for the compliment. Kind of off topic.
Back
to the beer. This is another 3 Floyds beer out of Indiana that you cannot get unless you live in Indiana or Chicago or certain cities in Ohio. Anyways, I got this in a trade with Joe Emswiller from Proper Hops TV, so thanks Joe for the beer. This is their brand new, I think, Black Sun Stout. It's not normal. 22-ounce bottle. It says, Black Sun has a nose of coffee, roasted malts, and piney hops. This medium-bodied stout has a broad depth of maltiness and a clean, dry finish. And it pours like a stout, black body. Had, like, when I poured it, it had a bit of a cascading head. You know, kind of like Guinness work, but not the nitrogen, obviously. But, you know, like a fluffy, like a sponge you'd wash your car with, you know?
Right. Oh, wow. There are a lot of hops on that.
Yeah, as soon as I popped the cap on it, I could smell the hops. I mean, they weren't kidding about piney hops.
I didn't get any coffee from Sen. Maybe a little.
No, I don't really get a lot. I get like definitely get pine. I get like a really clean kind of smell. Especially for a stout. Really.
All I get is hops. Like,
really?
It's pungent.
Yeah. I hope it tastes as good.
Cheers.
Wow.
I get the coffee on the flavor.
I didn't really get a lot of coffee. I mostly got a lot of the hops. And the stout is, according to Rapier, this is a dry stout, so it's kind of meant to be, you know, an American take on like a Guinness type of stout. But it was like a lot of hops at first, like kind of like what they were saying, medium body. It's like it's not super thick, not super energetic. I get like a coffee aftertaste.
Yeah, yeah. It finishes nice if you're...
If you're what?
If you're looking for coffee. With the bitterness that at the front end, I'm not getting as much on the back end.
Mm. Yeah, it's kind of mild up front, and then a lot of the flavor, especially the hops, they just come through right in that second half. It kind of changes on a dime from like dry stout to almost kind of like black IPA. And I think it's like a subtle kind of coffee aftertaste. I mean, it says a nose of coffee, so
I didn't get any of it on the nose.
I don't know if they're saying it's brewed with coffee or just that you might get coffee, like if they're just implying that. I don't really get, I mean, stout, you tend to get like kind of roasty malts.
Some chocolates, some black patent.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not really getting a ton of that here.
You know what you get a lot of too is the crystal malt, and I'm not getting any of that.
Yeah, I get like this really kind of, I don't want to say diluted, but like almost like a black licorice up front.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. It definitely smacks of a black IPA. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
The amount of hops is that I'm getting straight through. I mean, they trail off in the end, and the bitterness that I'm sort of left with is that sort of coffee flavor. But I don't
it's
find
like
it,
pine and coffee.
I don't feel it overly hoppy bitter at the end. I feel like it's more of a grain type of bitterness that's left.
Yeah.
And it definitely finishes clean. I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
But I don't taste a lot of the typical grains that I would associate with a stout. Like there's a lot going on with this though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like, because even as we're drinking it, the flavors that I'm getting change. They're changing. Like I get more of the front end hops than I did originally, and maybe that's just the lingering hops on my tongue or whatever. But this there's definitely a lot going on. It's a very dynamic beer.
Yeah. I like the, like I said, kind of sweetness up front, like a, slight kind of black licorice type of flavor. I like the drinkability on this because, you know, I thought we're going through this review very quick, and I'm, you know, ready to wrap up already after what, like 4 minutes or something.
Yeah,
so I'm just sucking this right down.
There's that. Yeah, it is drinkable. I mean, it's not very carbonated. It's not. There's not like a burning nose carbonation to it. Usually, I'm more the Imperial Stout kind of guy.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking for a one shot and done. And this, there is a drinkability component to this. This is something very similar to
a re-drinkability.
Yeah.
Like you'd come back for this, you know.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Now, the problem that I'm having is just that it's not like any other stout I've had. There's no the grains that are typically associated with stouts I'm not getting, and the hops are just way more present. I don't know what you would even classify this. I don't think I would go with stout.
Yeah, it's, you know, Three Floyds, they kind of are benders when it comes to styles and things like that. I think it's a really good beer for what it is. It's really impressive for what it is. You know, like I said, drinkability is great on it. I give this an 8 out of 10.
I'd probably go 7.5 just for the, I take points off for nominal things, and I can't see how this is a stout for the life of me.
Yeah.
You mentioned that there's not the...
it needs more emphasis on the malts.
Yep. Definitely. So, 7.5, 8?
Yeah. Like a B plus type range.
Overall, not bad, though. Drinkability's good.
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks that it's such a hard beer to come by, but, you know, I'm really grateful for it that, you know, I had to get this through a trade, but, you know, it's definitely... I look at beer, even if it doesn't knock my socks off, it still interests me that this is a totally unique style.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? So I think on that, it's worth it. So, yeah, 8 for me, 7.5 for Sean. Thanks again to Joe from Proper Hops for the beer.
Absolutely.
Thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks to Sean for coming over.
I'll be back.
We'll see you next time. Cheers.